These are single leg hip thrusts, okay? They are extremely similar to a normal hip thrust, but single leg, okay? Quite simple. Standard hip thrust is gonna be a setup like this. You're gonna set yourself up where your shoulder blades are in the correct position on the bench or on an actual hip thrust pad. I actually have a hip thrust pad there, but I'm too lazy to get it out right now. You want it to be a little bit lower than this here, ideally, okay? So this is a wee bit high for most people. You'd much prefer a slightly lower down pad, okay? What I'm gonna do is I'm going to do a standard hip thrust first, which is like this here. I'm gonna lower myself down like this here, okay? Feet a wee bit further back than that. And I'm gonna drive up and I'm gonna squeeze my glutes, my bum, to drive my hips towards the ceiling like that, okay? I come down nice and slow, and I drive myself back up again like that, okay? Very good exercise for the glutes, hamstrings, even a little bit of quads. Great all-round leg builder, okay? But mostly glutes. What I'm gonna do now instead is a slightly more challenging variation that's a bit more advanced, which is a single leg one. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to do the same movement, but I'm only gonna do it with one leg at a time, okay? So like this, lifting the foot, driving up like that. A good cue for this one here is to imagine you're trying to drive the knee to the ceiling, and that'll really get you to engage that glute. And I drop down like this, gonna drive back up again like that, like I'm trying to drive the knee to the ceiling. And that's a single leg hip thrust, okay? If you find it difficult to do it like I was doing it there, where you lift the foot and your foot remains off the floor the entire way through the movement, what you may want to try instead to kind of build your way up to it is start off with both feet on the ground. As you start to thrust up, lift one, do the top of the movement, so squeezing the glute, and then as you come down, you can sit that foot on the ground again. So not quite as challenging, but still gets you a little bit more. And then over time, get to the point where when you come down, you no longer need to put the foot on the floor. You can advance up to that. And if you get really advanced on it, you can advance to where you have a weight on the hip too, but that's pretty challenging. So single leg hip thrusts.